Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. As always, if you're new to the channel, let's introduce the project. This is Wind Waker Unflooded, a 3D modeling project all about recreating the land of Hyrule in the art style of the Wind Waker. As you know, if you played Wind Waker, you know that all the islands of the Great Sea are just the mountaintops of Hyrule. But we never get to really explore Hyrule. We just see a small portion of it. Excuse me. And so this project is all about bringing to life the entire land. That's what we want to do here. And it's been really fun, been really cool to see how much YouTube has been promoting the project, see how many new faces there are on the channel. So encouraging. And so I'll just go ahead and say, if you have any ideas that you want to voice, feedback, notes, criticism, or good notes, feel free to leave a comment down below. Something that, I say this often, but I've really enjoyed how much of a community project this has been. How much y'all are able to voice y'all's ideas, and I read the comments, and I try to also put up polls on the community page of the YouTube channel, and where I really want to value y'all's input because I care about this project. I'm passionate about this world, about Zelda, about the Wind Waker and this world beneath the waves. I'm passionate about the way that I want to see it, but I know that y'all are also passionate about it. And there may be things I'm not thinking about. There may be things where I go, oh, you're absolutely right. And I realize something because of your comment. So all this to say is there's a lot that I'm thinking about for this project. And it is my project. I'm making the final decision. But there may be things that I forget about. And feel free to comment down below any notes, feedback, criticism, etc. Because that does help. That informs what videos I do next. When you comment what locations you want to see, I take note of that. And that makes it into my list of locations I want to work on next. And so that all matters to me. You're just all this to say, imagine I'm looking at the camera, right? Your feedback matters to me. Speaking of cameras too, let me know if y'all are interested in this, if this is interesting to y'all, or if this doesn't even affect the viewing. If y'all want to see just a little bit more of if it helps to see me face to face, right? If y'all would rather me do these videos with a, what do they even call it? Just like a picture-in-picture effect, right? Just where you can see me as I'm talking to camera. I don't mind either way. It doesn't really impact the workload there. It's just something that if you think that would help and make it more personal, feel free to let me know. But also, if you'd rather see the whole screen, I guess that also makes sense. So I guess just let me know. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know. Because I'm here for y'all. I'm here because of y'all. And this, I'm doing this project for both of us. But all this to say is I value y'all's feedback, and just let me know how I can adjust my content to make it better. So that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. And I will say too, it's if this video is if you really want to see big progress made on big locations, this may not be the video for you. This is a little more just kind of doing some more just organizational stuff almost. And I think it's an important video, and I want to talk a little bit about that. But it's not the most sexiest work that I've ever done in a video. It may be just kind of a little thing, but I do think it adds up. And because what I'm doing in this video, I don't know where we're at in the time lapse. I'm not currently watching it myself, but this is all about just importing islands into the overworld. Islands from the Great Sea, from the original Wind Waker map. There were several islands that I did not have access to the models for, that I was planning on recreating from scratch. And those models have been sent over to me by MrJmZack. And it's really convenient. And there are all these locations that I was planning on recreating, and a couple of these I'd already recreated or started recreating. Stuff like Ice Ring Isle and the Stone Watcher Islands. And I was happy with how those turned out. But I was not excited to get more into the Forest Haven. That was going to be a little more complex as an island. And it's really nice just to already have that model done. So that does improve my workflow. And I think even just psychologically, right? Being able to just see stuff already on the map helps to be able to decide what to do next. It's easier to see, if there's something that's not even on the map yet, I'm not thinking about it necessarily. But if there is something that's on the map, I can see the island, then I'm already starting to think, oh, well, what should be below that? I see this empty space. How do we fill it? And I think just psychologically that benefits just the creation of this project. Because here's a little secret, guys. Is I do have ideas in my back pocket, I do have a couple plans in mind, but there's a lot that I'm just kind of going by the seat of my pants on, right? And I think I can get away with that on a project of the scale because I care about it and because I care about Zelda. And it's like every decision I make can still be informed by my love for the series. And I can still draw on that each time. I don't need to plan it all out. And I also like that there's a little bit of that impromptu-ness because that allows y'all's feedback to really be heard. Because if I was really going hard on pre-production and having a tight outline, a tight plan that's unchanging because I figured it all out, then that would leave no room for y'all to tell me that I'm wrong or to voice your own ideas of locations. And I really want to empower y'all to voice those ideas. So that's just how I feel about it. And I do feel like this project works. I can do it that way because I care about it. If I was really trying to create something completely from scratch, I wouldn't be able to do that. I would have to plan it more. But just because it's Zelda and I have such a love for the series, I do think I can get away with not having everything planned at all times. And I do like that gives y'all a chance to voice things. I'm just repeating myself at this point, I guess. But all this to say, just so you know, there are openings in my mind creatively about the project where I don't have an idea of what a location is. So if you have an idea and you're like, I don't know if you already have something in mind for this, I probably don't have something in mind for it. So feel free to comment down below. That's all I'm trying to say about that. And like I said too, I don't know if I've already said that in this video, I really, as much as I value the community aspect, I also really value collaboration. Like I said, these models were sent over to me by Jimbo, and I would love for more collaborators to be involved in the project. Even if that's just making small assets, right? I've already gotten help with textures and trees, and making even little things like that helps the project along, and that's all really appreciated because that adds up. And so if you're a 3D artist and you're watching this video and you want to get involved, feel free to shoot me an email. My email is on the About page of my YouTube channel. Feel free to shoot me an email if you want to be involved, and let me know what location or assets you're interested in. Because there are specific things that I'm looking for that I have in mind that I want to work on next. But really, if you want to be involved, I want to empower you to make stuff that you're interested in. And that's what I think is really great about this project is that, this world map is big enough that, as long as I can keep focusing on different areas of the map, I think there's something that everyone will be interested in. And I guess all this to say is that is part of why I also like borrowing from a lot of different games. And I know that people have been commenting and y'all been saying that Joe, I really think you should be prioritizing Ocarina of Time as the template for what you're borrowing from as far as locations and the way things are designed. Ocarina of Time should be the blueprint for, that should be informing what's already in the world. And you shouldn't be borrowing as much from other games. And from a lore perspective, I do agree because Wind Waker is closer to Ocarina of Time than it is to other games. But I also think this is a community project and this is Hyrule. And there are so many games that take place in Hyrule where I think their locations are just as valid. And I do like that, I think we all have a different favorite Zelda game, right? And I don't know, maybe if you're subscribed to this channel, your favorite Zelda game is Wind Waker. Maybe there's a lot more Wind Waker fans on my channel. I don't know, maybe. I got to do a poll, comment down below what your favorite Zelda game is, I guess. I'll do a poll though after recording this video because I am curious about that, especially for this channel. But I guess all this to say is just because the Zelda series is so big and there's so many different games and everyone has a different favorite game, I do want to incorporate locations from games throughout the series and a lot of different games, and because I'll hear comments, I'll read comments from people talking about not even having gotten very far in Ocarina of Time yet, right? And there's people that, are more or less attached to locations from Skyward Sword or Twilight Princess, and everyone has a different relationship with different games. And I do think that's, this project is about Wind Waker, and it is trying to take place within a certain part of the timeline. For reference, if you're new to the channel and haven't heard me say it, the timeline that I'm going for, this isn't just Wind Waker without the water, but I am, basically trying to do Wind Waker, the world of the Wind Waker before the Great Flood, right before the flood. That's the time placement. So within the prologue of the Wind Waker, between Ocarina of Time and the Wind Waker, that's when this project takes place. And that is informing my creative decisions, right? Ganon's Tower has been built, but Castle Town has not been destroyed yet, for instance, right? That kind of, that part of the world is informing my creative decisions. So it's like there's still room for there to be monsters in the world and monster outposts, and that to be encroaching upon a society that is still not destroyed yet. There, you can still have a bustling society, and this is kind of a view of that as things are just about to change, which I think is cool. And comment down below if you have any more ideas of how that can manifest. But I am going to start wrapping up the video. All this to say, thank you so much for watching. If you want to be able to support me as a creator, become a member on Patreon. That supports me as a creator. It gives you exclusive access to all kinds of behind the scenes stuff, access to scripts that I'm writing, music that I'm composing, all kinds of stuff, previs, storyboards. I'm a filmmaker, so if you want access to all of that, Patreon's the place to go. That would mean a lot. Like I said with music, all the music you've heard in the background of this video was my music. So you can support me as a creator by listening to my music on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you listen to music. Look up Joe Kendrick on Spotify. That's JoeKendrick. I think I spelled that right. So all this to say, though, those are all the ways you can support me as a creator. Feel free to subscribe for more. I'll let y'all go.